Welcome to Geopolitical Horizon. This is the third program in the three-part series focusing on leadership. And in this third and final program, I want to focus on the operational level. And in this program, when I mean operational level, I mean the country manager's role in terms of operations on the ground internationally, whether it's in Africa or Asia or the Middle East or Latin America. Companies and corporations operating globally and internationally, or if it's a company planning to start international operations in a country or several countries, you will need to have a country manager who is responsible on the ground in that country or in those countries. Therefore, first of all, to look at recruitment, to find a country manager who's really fit for that role, it is important to look for a country manager who has experience on the ground in different, geographical locations and really understands how it is to operate on the ground, who understands the environment, the geography, the cultural situation, in terms of people, the ethnic environment, whether, different tribes. You really need to have a country manager who is agile, dynamic, who is humble, who has integrity, who's able to work with finance, HR, supply chain, logistics, who really is well-rounded and who really understands the situation on the ground, who is able to also adapt to different, changing circumstances. Risks evolve, very fluid, and there can be very, changing dynamics on the ground. Therefore, you have to have a country manager who also communicates well with the executive leadership group. That is critical. So you need to also have a country manager who understands the risk environment, who understands the business opportunities, who can really act on, whether, it's a changing opportunity or a changing risk landscape. That is critical. So therefore, you have to have a country manager who also understands the stakeholders, whether it's different tribes, different ethnic groups, what is the situation, and where, workers in the teams you work with, the suppliers you have, the logistic handlers. It's really important to really have a very good understanding of the local geographic environment that you operate in. And that, I think, is very important. So for companies to plan, operations internationally, or companies who already maybe have ongoing operations, maybe you have a country you're operating where you have a country manager where it may not work so well. Well, you may want to maybe then change the country manager if that's, the decision you want to make. Well, then you need to look for a country manager who is really, humble, who has integrity. That's really, really critical. Because on the ground, you have, financial flows, you have, financial deals that are going to be made. So you really need to have a country manager who is responsible, who has integrity, who understands the changing risk landscape, and who really can work on the ground over an extended period of time if that's the case. So, really to find the right country manager can be critical for a company's success internationally. And therefore, to really, you do proper recruitment, find a really good country manager who understands the environment, who understands the risk landscape, who understands how also to generate, business over time within, changing circumstances. It could be a very, challenging environments with, risks really changing in, certain parts of a country and maybe, or in a neighboring country. That could also be the case. Well, then you need to have also, relevant risk advice and, really relevant risk assessments so that the country manager has an understanding of the strategic and political and security landscape in the area, country, and region you operate in. So, these are just some of the thoughts that I would probably share in terms of the country manager's role. There are, of course, many other aspects that I think are relevant, but I think this is, the key of focus areas I would like to focus on in terms of recruitment, in terms of the abilities and skills and competencies relevant for the country manager to really handle and understand the operational, environment you operate in, and to really be able to move, in a smart, dynamic, and agile way, whether it's a changing risk landscape, business environment, you have competitors, but to really understand the whole landscape, both, in a holistic manner, but also really down to the business details and on the ground situation. So thank you so much for joining and taking part in this leadership series. And please remember to subscribe to Geopolitical Horizon, and I look forward to see you again. Thank you.